There once lived a brave warrior and his wife. They also cared for a small beast released from captivity by the mighty warrior. They lived in happiness and prosperity for years, far from any dangers of the civilized world. One day, the warrior was blessed with the greatest of gifts, a child. Sadly, the gods decided to put an end to his happiness. His wife died during childbirth, but luckily, their son survived. Devastated by the loss, the great warrior left his home and ventured into the unknown. Years later, after the long journey through the danger-filled lands, the warrior's destiny prepared a final test. A pack of savage wolves attacked their camp during the night and killed the father of the boy. When they were about to attack the boy, a mighty creature stood between them. A white bear, young and strong, managed to chase off the wild beasts. The bear knew that the boy needs to be among his own race, or he won't survive. One day, it found a large city and left the boy in front of its gates. With sorrow in its heart, the bear went back into the woods. The ruler of the city was an old and mad king who enjoyed torturing the animals that were brought to him. The people of his court were even worse, hating strangers and anything that came outside the city walls. The boy was lucky enough to get a job tending to the animals once the king was done torturing them. Through the years of this awful obligation, the boy learned how to take care of the wounded animals, as well as how to communicate with most of them. One day, a strange animal was brought into the king's throne room. The big white creature was an astonishing sight to the people. The king spoke kindly, but with malicious intent. "What is it you wish from us?" The bear never answered, but turned his eyes to a familiar figure in the crowd. He recognized his old friend and was very happy to see him alive. The king was infuriated by the creature's lack of interest and ordered a public torture. The boy felt he knew this animal, but couldn't understand how. Once the tortured bear was brought into the city's dungeon, the boy sneaked into its cell, despite being ordered not to tend to its wounds. As soon as the bear opened its eyes, it was certain that this friendly and fragile human boy was the same child it had protected once his father died. The boy promised that it will help the bear escape, and bring it food and water until it gets better. The darkness of the dungeon was slowly sucking the life out of the creature, but the boy maintained a warm and illuminating fire. Over the years, the bear taught the boy many secrets of the wild and taught him the bestial languages. The last tale the animal shared with the boy was one of the mighty warrior and a beautiful woman, the boy's parents, who both love him very much. The bear also explained how they both died. The boy ran away with tears in his eyes. Upon his return to the bear's cell, something strange happened. The beast was no longer there. All that remained was a small, bright light. At that moment, the spirit of the bear merged with the boy, awakening his inner beast and unleashed the warrior's might within. Beastmaster was born on that day. He let out a roar of pain and anger, shaking houses, stone walls, and even mountains. Nearby beasts from the dungeon and the forest heard their new master's call and headed for the city gates. It was finally time to punish this wicked nation of butchers. Many people were killed that night, none of whom will ever be missed by a single soul. The last survivor was the king, sitting in his throne, surrounded by a pack of loyal black wolves. The moment Beastmaster entered the Great Hall and saw the king's wolves, he couldn't shake the feeling that he has seen these animals before. The Mad King laughed and ordered his wolves to attack the intruder, but with no effect. Slowly, the wolves' red eyes turned blurry and pale. Without a single word being uttered, the wolves turned to the king, with the Beastmaster behind them. A moment later, the king was no more. From that day, the boy was known as a protector of wildlife, with no home. He was wandering through the wilds, accompanied by the boar and the hawk, helping out his new kin, the beasts.